Hey guys, welcome to another video. So today we'll be reviewing Southampton, who are 14th in the Premier League on 34 points. Sort of mix and match season for Southampton. They've had obviously good patches and quite bad patches as well this season. They have got through it and they have managed to sort of climb up the league a little bit. They were in relegation zone for a little bit during the season. But yeah, I'll get into that later in the video about how the season has panned out and about their manager as well. So as always, we'll start off by reviewing their cup competitions. In the League Cup, they lost in the fourth round to Man City 3-1. Obviously, Man City going on to obviously win the League Cup. Obviously, with Southampton, I think at the time it's a lot of transition. There's a lot of changes going on there. They were obviously in a precarious position in the league at the time, so I don't really think the League Cup and neither the FA Cup either was their priority. In the FA Cup as well, they did lose to Spurs in a fourth round replay. They did actually play very well in the first leg. They could have actually won the game, but Spurs just too strong, too clinical in the replay, and ultimately they knocked Southampton out of the cup. But I feel that's probably actually benefited Southampton because they haven't had like the midweek or where a fixture gets taken out because of cup and they lose ground. It's sort of given them on a level playing field really, because they're playing when everyone else is playing and it's always in their own hands, not hoping, we hope this team beats that team, it's entirely up to them as to whether they're going to stay up or not. Obviously, in general, like Southampton, obviously they had a new manager for it's his first full season this season in Ralph Hasenhüttl. Obviously, last season he came in and obviously replaced Mark Hughes, but this season is his first full season. Obviously, he's had a chance to come in and obviously implement his style on the club, on the team as a whole. And he has done very well. Obviously, his objective when he first came was just to keep them up, which obviously he did. And this season, it was Southampton fans were hopeful that he would push on. Southampton have always been, since they've sort of come up, been sort of pushing in top half, that kind of thing. So obviously, Southampton fans were hoping for that. But I think the main sort of trouble with Southampton this season is they haven't. Although obviously Danny Ings has scored a lot of goals this season, the defence has been their sticking point this season. I also think as well when Danny Ings isn't firing or playing as well as he can, they haven't got much else. Danny Ings has scored 18 goals this season, and the next player behind him has scored 4. So that's. Very, very reliant on Danny Ings. Next striker is Shane Long, even though, Shane Long works hard for the team, he is a player you'd love to have in your team because he works very, very hard for the team, but unfortunately he doesn't score the goals. Obviously in the Premier League goals matter, but obviously if you took all of Danny Ings' goals away, Southampton would probably be bottom or in the relegation zone. So that shows just how, important he is to the side, and if he was to go in the transfer window, they've got massive boots to fill. You sort of feel definitely in a transfer window, definitely get Danny Ings to stay as their main priority and bring another striker who can share the goals accordingly with Danny Ings. But yeah, obviously as I said about Hasenhüttl, obviously he came in last season to steady the ship, which he did by keeping Southampton in the Premier League. This season, as I already mentioned, his main sort of thing was, can we push on? Obviously, he's, implemented his playing style. He's brought in some players. He's brought in some players from the cold, that Southampton fans probably would have forgotten about, but they've come in and done well. But yeah, as I already said, the defence has been their sticking point, and you could always. Normally St Mary's was a hard place to go to, but you've seen sort of more teams pick up points there, and not be as scared. But they haven't made St Mary's a fortress at all. this season. And I feel from set pieces they have been quite weak this season. But I think one result in particular has definitely shaped Southampton's season. They weren't really playing that well before that, or they're having a few wins, maybe a few defeats, that kind of thing. They lost 9-0 to Leicester, and obviously it was like a record score, and everyone was, taking the mick out of Southampton and saying, "Oh, this is Hasenhutl's last game," that kind of thing. But Hasenhüttl has actually came out and said this, that that result made him question his ability as a manager, and made him hungry to succeed more and try and rebuild Southampton from that result. And I think after that result, obviously a lot of Southampton players needed reality checks, because I think a lot of them thought we're Premier League players, but Leicester schooled them that day. Having put getting 9 put past you is you're going to be embarrassed. People are going to ridicule you, that kind of thing. But I think obviously Hasenhüttl and the players got together. I think that was their reality check, and they've worked hard in training. They've put what they've worked hard in training back onto the pitch, and their results have been a lot better. And definitely they've looked a bit more solid defensively, although there's still the odd errors here and there with Southampton. Sometimes that they're going to make mistakes. And obviously there's still that reliance on Danny Ings. So I think obviously the early positive signs are there for Southampton of getting the season back on track. But I definitely feel that they just need to get the season over with, stay in the Premier League if they can, and go again next season, because I think this season has been very poor by their standards. I think there was a lot of positives or excitement at the start of it, but I think it's just been very poor, and I think they just need to get the season over with, stay in the Premier League, which I think they will. They've on 34 points, got a little cushion. Maybe if the season does get restarted again, they maybe need a couple more wins to 100% guarantee it. But I think they're pretty safe where they are, and their form has been a lot better. So I definitely think they are going to stay in the Premier League this season. For the rating for Southampton, I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. Because as I said, don't think it's been as good as it could have been with the players they have and that sort of thing. I also think, as I said, they're too reliant on one player, and I still think the defensive errors are there. I think it's going to take a lot more, than a reality check after a massive defeat to shape their season. I think they need a transfer window where they're going to not rebuild the side, but get a couple of players in that can change the squad, improve it. Maybe get it back to Southampton of old, where they're in the top half consistently, and just maybe a few more youngsters, a bit more hunger in there, and then hopefully then they can go a bit better in the cup competitions and get a bit further in that. So anyway guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If any Southampton fans stumble across this video, what do you think of your season so far? Who do you think's been your standout player so far? Who do you think needs to get involved a bit more and contribute a bit more to the team? What do you think for, say, the next few seasons? Where do you think Hasenhüttl can take you? Or do you think you will potentially have to get a new manager in to take Southampton up further? And who do you think has got a bright future at your club? There's a lot of exciting youngsters coming through there. Who do you think is going to be the next superstar at your club? Again, as I said, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video, which will be on Brighton. Take care guys, and goodbye.